everybody, and welcome back to the stream. Today's gonna be a little bit different than my usual Halloween streams. I'm gonna try and get some writing done because I figured since I stream regularly, it'll make it easier to actually get this book finished. Because I've got it almost completely done, but not quite. So, I guess let's get to it. I think for now I'm going to organize my notes, and then maybe a little bit later I will do a little bit of Zoom too. But for now I'm going to start with writing. Alright. So this is the software app that I use. Called Obsidian. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so the last thing I was working on... Hi, Alejandra! Do you want to join voice chat? You can join if you want. I'm a little bit lonely. Alright, I'm going to start with... I was working on the timeline. I don't know exactly where I was. Okay, so that is before the book. This is... Yes! Okay! Alright, I'm gonna... Hold on, let me open Discord. So just join the, Friends Only chat. The friendship chat. Cool. You should appear when you join. Thank you for joining me tonight on stream. I don't have an exact date for that either. I know I don't, and neither do I have an exact date for that.
Always, always.
But I can't hear you for some reason. Hold on. Let me check my headphones. I know they're connected. Maybe I need to reconnect them. Try speaking again.
Hello, 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 hello.
Yes, hello.
Yay! Hi, hi. Greetings.
Wait, try speaking again. I think I just made a mistake. I did. Fantastic. Give me one moment.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. I fixed the problem only to remake the problem. Alright, I fixed it. Cool. Try again?
Hello, hello?
No, why can't I hear you? This is rude. Okay.
This is a big sad.
Try speaking? Okay, there we go. Hello. I doubly made the problem for myself. Hey, is your name? No, it's still there. That annoys me. It's just so rude, man. I'm gonna make you bigger. So how have you been? Yeah, that is nice. Yeah. Just, are you excited for the Arboretum trip? I know! The wind chill is huge, bro. It just like murders. It cuts right through any of my sweaters. Unless I've like stacked the sweaters. But oh my gosh. Okay, fun fact. If you look on stream, if you look at the timeline, you'll notice. Sorry, I'm eating boba. You'll notice where it says terraform. Like it's like the last. It's the third to last one. I highlighted it. If you look at it, when it catches up to it. I wonder if I can zoom in. Yeah, okay. So you see how that says later February 2020? That's my apocalypse event. I made this. The last time I touched this timeline was October 24th, 2018. Dude, I know. And I was just looking through the timeline yesterday, and I was like, no, this can't be possible. There's no way I accidentally predicted an apocalypse event. And yep, yes, it did. Because, like, it should show my Chrome tab, but I don't think it will. Because for some reason, Chrome decided to not. Oh, it'll, if I open up a Google Docs tab, it will. Okay, cool. I just need to, no, I'm not signed into the correct one on here. Okay, anyway, if I opened up the Google Doc, I could show you that it says October blankety blank in my mind. Hold on. I think I can actually show you. Yeah, I'm like, I have like actual proof. It's literally ridiculous. Display capture, add source. Okay, add source. It's loading in. It's very white now. Okay, here we go. So look at the top where it says last edit was October 24th, 2018. I still haven't edited it. Still haven't touched it. And it says the same exact thing. Terraform 2020, later February. I can't believe it. I was so shocked. I know, right? I made a TikTok about it. I was like, what is this? I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about? How could this possibly be it? I know. Like, was I having like some dreams? I know, right? I just wanted to write a sci-fi dystopian. I didn't mean for the dystopian to happen so close to the future. I didn't mean to predict the future on accident. Like, ooh, I feel... It was so surprising. But yeah. This Obsidian's really fun because it'll do this. It's all the connections. Yeah, I can pull them around too. I can tug them away and like basically spin them around in a rotational pull. But yeah, it's like based on the links. So like when I do the double bracket, like if I go to here, you see the purple and the double bracket, like that is a connection to the page that I have for that. So if I open up this pane, I think linked mentions 0. Okay. Oh, so it's not, so it'll only show it if it's like on something that's, oh, because these are backlinks, not uplinks. Okay. If I go to one of my key events, for example, this one, Ally Assemblies, if I open this and look for the linked mentions, it'll tell me one, where it is in the before the book. And if I click on it, it'll bring me to it, which is pretty neat. Yeah. I'm sure if I did this for a campaign, I'd have too much fun, but also die. I would also die at the same time. I have 32 pages of notes, which is definitely not as much as I have for my book. Well, yeah, still quite a bit. Technically, my notes for my book are very loose, and they allow me to wiggle around, which is fun. It's always fun. Alright. Oh yeah. The whole reason I got into Obsidian was because my brother sent me a TikTok of it. And I wanted to organize my notes, because I have notes on my phone notes, Google Docs, Word Docs, OneNote, PowerPoints, you know. I just need to bring them all together because I'm tired of searching and looking for them. I even had, okay, the worst part is I even had a note on like an old Wattpad draft. It was ridiculous. Because it was like a terminate, do not upload note thing. And I was like trying to find some notes, and I'm like, I knew I wrote this down somewhere. I know I've written it down somewhere. And I couldn't find it for the life of me. But then when I went to go like cross-post one of my fan fictions, it was there staring me in the face. And I'm like, there's no way the note I was looking for is right here. And it was. It, in fact, very much so was. And it was so rude. Okay, I know what I need to do here. So yeah, I can't do anything else with the timeline. Well, I could, but I'm not going to. I could, but I won't. Yeah. Why do you not let me open this on Chrome? Is it because you're mean? Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm just gonna close that and open up Brave. I have Chrome basically not logged into anything for like streaming safety, but since I don't have the display inserted into the scene, it's safe. Hello to the 2 other people who joined and said nothing. That's okay, you don't have to say anything. I just noticed it said 4 viewers. Yeah, we can talk to ourselves, we can chat our own ears off. I might do a little bit of the room later, just to, you know, add a little spice to my night. But for now, I'm not going to. The reason why it looks like I'm not doing anything is because I have all these notes and I'm putting them all together, which means I'm copying and pasting them. So it looks like I'm doing nothing when I'm actually searching for what I need to copy and paste. Alright, cool. Okay, the funny thing is, I use brackets all the time in my notes, but just as like little separator group thingies. And Obsidian uses brackets like seriously, like they actually have a functional purpose, which means I have to fix a lot of my notes because it's like, oh, you want to backlink that? You want to uplink? I'm like, no, I don't. I would very much so not like. I don't want to do that at all. Thank you very much. It's a hot bit. It sucks, honestly. I was like doing the timeline bit, and the amount of the amount of things I had in italics. Let me reformat that word, the wording there. The amount of things I had in italics and also in brackets honestly hurt me on an emotional level because I had to keep fixing it, and then like Obsidian has this weird thing that if you if you put in like a connection uplink, for example, if I did that and then like I had something written beforehand and I tried to go back and like write it, it would delete what I had previously written, and I would just have to like rewrite the whole thing, and it sucked a lot. Yeah. Yeah. It sucked a lot. But it's just the way, it goes sometimes. Like, I'm literally looking at my notes right now, and like everything has brackets. Everything has brackets, and I kind of want to die, so I'm just avoiding the brackets for now. Mhm. All right, I need to. I can't put that in brackets. I can't do that. So I'll just bold it. Oh my gosh. I'll bold it instead where it bolds everything on accident. That's fine. Oh my gosh. This is gonna hurt me, like, emotionally. And I'm not gonna recover. I love Obsidian, but I'm also, like, emotionally distraught over it. There we go. Thanks. I mean, I didn't do anything with Obsidian, but I put all the stuff in. And it's like I have to reorder it in a different way because Obsidian works differently, but it's nice because everything will be connected. Alright. Okay, you know what the funny part is? I'm copy and pasting like the moral lessons or whatever that you learn from the book. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I did not write these until after I had almost finished their arcs. Like, I had 6 chapters left, which I still do. Had left of the last person of the third part, which is the last part of the book. That's when I was like, oh, maybe I should write that down. Cause it was more of, I don't want to like have to show a message. I'm just gonna see if if lesson shows up, pops up as I write it. Maybe that'll make things easier for me. Maybe just a little bit. Alright, so that's characters, world building, timeline. So I can. Would it be better as a note or as a folder? That's the real question. Let's make it a folder. Cool. I'm gonna call you loose outline. No, you weren't supposed to go there. Crap. I accidentally shoved it in a folder that I didn't want to shove it in, and I had to go dig it out. It wasn't a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. Into the thick of it. Okay, so what really messes with my brain is sometimes I use the like completely underscore, or not underscore, lowercase. Oh my gosh, lowercase aesthetic of writing, and then other times I won't, and then it won't mesh, and it will screw with my brain. And then I'm like, why is this lowercase? Or I'll go, why is this uppercase? Or anything of the above. Oh, I can't do that. Those are the same. Oh crap. Why can't I use that? Why you gotta be mean? Alright, there we go. Why can't I use that? Why you gotta be mean? God, outline. I forgot that because I need to use their names again because their character arcs are the 3 story arcs of the story. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna use their name, but I'd already used their names for their character notes, and therefore it would have made trouble for me. Nathan. Yeah, Nathan, but he dies. Yeah, he. Yeah, I murdered a child. Yeah, he died at 13. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta be. You're gonna figure it out eventually, anyway. It's not like I'm hiding it. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta be. I'm like, oh yeah, he's murdered. It's not like I'm hiding it.
But well, it's because okay. So basically, what happened was I made him and I loved him, and then one of my best friends said you wouldn't kill him, and I said, oh, I wouldn't, and I killed him. So I made him and I loved him, and then one of my best friends said you wouldn't kill him, and I said, oh, I wouldn't, and I killed him. So yeah, but now it's oops, I used numbers. But now it's like it's actually important to the plot now. But now it's oops. I use numbers. But now it's so, like I wasn't gonna make it unimportant. I'm very sad now. I wasn't gonna make it unimportant to the plot, but I did. He was initially murked because someone told me that I wouldn't dare kill him. So, but I did. He was initially murked. Yeah, I kind of killed him in like a really rude way as well. Do you want to know? Yeah, I kind of killed him in like a really rude way. I blew him up. In a boiler, in a boiler explosion. I blew him up. Let me explain how that went down. Okay, so the way that went down was. Let me explain how that went down. Okay, so basically. The way that went down. I have to explain like his whole arc. This is like really extensive to understand why I had to blow him up. The way that went I have to explain like his whole arc. This is like really extensive to understand why I had to blow him up. Okay, so. Hi, Keto. All right, what happened was basically. Hi, Keto. In the beginning of Nathan, well, before Nathan's arc starts, there's like a little introduction to his backstory. And he was traveling with his brother. And then Nathan's arc starts, his brother has been kidnapped. His older brother has just been kidnapped when his arc starts. And so he goes, I put him through a lot of stuff. He loses the tip of his tongue. He almost gets put in the slave trade. He gets caught up in a public riot where a lot of people die, including Max's daughter. He gets caught up in a public riot where a lot of people die. I know this isn't laughing matter, but I have to laugh because I don't know how else to respond. I know this isn't laughing matter, but I can't. And so basically, he gets he finds this group. Called the FIB or FIB. This is a lot of foreshadowing. It's called the FIB or FIB because it means forgotten interbunker, and the interbunkers are the shelters in between the big survivor city carapace. The big survivor shelters. So they're like little interim things. Because there's about 24 hours of foot travel between each of the main 50 survivor shelters. And so you need to have a break shelter in between them. So they're called interbunkers. Because they're in between. It's pretty obvious. And the reason why it's called the Forgotten Interbunker is because it was forgotten. It's like an extra one. And the reason why it's called the Forgotten, it's like no one really remembers it. And it's like it was forgotten. It's like an extra one, and no one like visits it anymore. And so a bunch of it's basically taken over for nefarious purposes, even though the kids think it's basically like post-dystopian orphanage. And the reason why Nathan gets blown up is because he and the kid that introduced him to the Forgotten Interbunker, they figure out that instead of taking the kids to new families, the guy who's taking care of them is selling them for slaves. Either to not so good human survivors, raiders, pirates, whatever, or to aliens who think humans are a hot commodity ever since their world ended. And so the reason why he blows up is the reason why that makes sense in him blowing up is because his basically. Okay, there's a lot of interpersonal stuff here. Okay, basically his dad. Okay, his dad, who we didn't really get to know. Okay, His
we didn't really
dad.
get to know.
Can my brain please work?
Basically, his dad. Okay.
No, it cannot. Okay, his dad worked with Max Greaves. Max is our first main character, and he's a well-known biomechanical engineer. And his dad passed down this mechanical genius to his older brother, Hank. And while Hank was raising Nathan in the aftermath of Terraform, he passed down some of that knowledge to Nathan. And Nathan, well, they figured out that the way that the fib was kept warm was a boiler room down below. And Nathan was like, "Oh, I can make this blow up. That'd be easy. Because all you have to do is like basically stop up the stuff, and then it'll blow up. That'd be easy." There's like it's not very hard. So he's like, "I'll blow so we can escape and then blow it up, and they won't be able to chase after us." Solid 13-year-old logic. So we can escape and blow it up, and they won't be able to chase after us. One of the groups makes it out. Under one of the groups that's led by one of the older kids. So her name is Jem. One of the groups makes it out. Under one of the groups that's led by one of the older kids. So her name is Jem. But the group that Nathan and his other friend, the group that two of the groups make it out. One of the groups does not, and this is the group that was being led by Nathan's friend. The other kid that figured out what was going on. This is the group that was being led by Nathan's friend. The other kid that figured out what was going on. Did I put this in the wrong one? And yes, I did. Okay, cool. So obviously, when I say that he was blown up by a boiler room, he didn't make it out. Obviously, they got to this atrium sort of space that didn't have a ceiling. He didn't make it out, obviously. They got and to like the space that didn't have a ceiling. Frankly, insane guy that was like taking care of the orphans that was selling them for like slaveries or whatever, right? So he's like, he and his goons have like beat up Nathan, and he like he's kind of not in it. And Nathan asks like, "Why did you do this? What was the point?" Kind of not in it. And classic asks, like, why did you do this? Hero asking the villain. And classic. Yeah, like why are you selling children as slaves? That sort of thing. And then of course Hank's like for glory and power and money and oops and whatever. I keep forgetting my hotkeys are numbers. And then this is like really sad, by the way, because his brother has a. Oh yeah. So anyway, and then this is like really sad, by the way. So he hasn't seen his brother this entire time, and it's been like several months at this point. So he hasn't seen his brother this entire time, and it's been like. And like after the guy makes his last grandstand. He like steps onto this airship, and it's got like this on ramp, and he's like walked backwards all whatever to make a statement or something. You know how bad guys are. To make a statement or something. He walks backward onto the on ramp, and then they start going into the air, and like. At this point, you can feel the ground shaking as the lower area of the fib gets blown up. At this point, you can feel the ground shaking. And so Nathan at this point already knows that he's gonna die, along with all the other kids that were beat up and couldn't escape. So he's like, I'm gonna die, and that's when, along with all the other kids that were beat up, he sees the bad dude. I think I named him Alex. Get kicked off the bad dude. I think I named him Alex. He gets kicked off of the ship, and he falls down in front of Nathan with a crack. His neck cracks. He's like very dead. It's very obvious that he's dead. And as soon as Nathan looks back up after watching. After lifting his head and opening his eyes to see, after hearing him die, he looks up and there's his brother, who had beat up the other goons in the airship and had then kicked who had
Alex
beat up
off.
the other goons in the
And
airship and had
right, and this is like, and right before the
Alex off.
the fib finishes exploding,
And right before the
Nathan yells his brother's name, and then he dies.
Right before the
I know.
Nathan yells
Now,
his
the
brother's
purpose
name, and then he
that
dies.
this serves for plot, I know, for the plot
purpose
reasons
that
that
this
this
serves for
serves,
plot
is the fib needed to be destroyed.
Plot reasons that
Because
this
further down the
serves
line, it would have caused problems if it was still
the
alive.
fib needed to be destroyed.
So, and another
Because
reason,
further down the line, it would have caused
another reason why he
problems
died was
if it
because,
alive.
I hate to say it,
So,
hate to do
and
it
the
to you,
rea-
Nathan,
and another reason
but you needed to cause your brother
Another
trauma.
reason why he died was because,
hate to say that,
hate to do it to you.
but
you needed to cause
it's
your brother
really
trauma.
important that his brother
hate
Hank
to
gets
say
this
that,
trauma now,
But you needed to
because
it's really important that his brother Hank gets this
when you-
trauma now.
basically the entire time after
because,
Terraform, Hank has been pretty good at
when you
protecting his
the
brother,
entire
keeping
time
him
after
safe,
Terraform,
yada yada,
Hank has been
and he's
pretty
got like a
good
confidence
at
and a pride for it,
protecting his brother, keeping him safe, yada yada.
which can lead to
And he's
mistakes,
got like a confidence
and
a
would
pride
lead,
for it.
and later on he takes on the care of other kids
can lead to
that are
mistakes.
necessary to other plot
and
points.
would lead to, and later
For
on he,
the other kids
takes on the care of
are
other
a little
kids
boy named
that are
Stevie,
necessary to other plot
um,
points.
and
For the other kids
Nathan's
are
friend
a little boy
that
named
introduced him
Stevie.
to the fib, whose name is Kai.
And the
Okay,
other kids,
Kai can't die.
Nathan's friend
Kai would die
introduced him to the
if
F-
Nathan
to the
had
fib,
lived,
whose name is Kai.
because
Kai can't
Hank
die.
would have prioritized
Kai
his
would
brother
die
over some strange
if
kids he
Nathan
just
had
met.
lived.
But Kai is an important. Kai
Because,
is
Hank would have
important
prioritized his brother over
because
some
at the
kids
very
he just
end of the book,
But
when
Kai
they
is
are
an
escaping,
important-
Kai
is
has
important
an ability
because at the
that
very
if they
end of
didn't
the
have
book,
it,
when
they would
are
not escape
escaping,
Earth.
Kai has
So this
an
is why
ability
Nathan dies.
that if they didn't have it, they would not escape Earth. Kai has
So this is why Nathan.
Yeah.
I hate.
that if they didn't have it, they would not escape.
Yeah, hate to kill the 13-year-old, but if
this is
people
why
really get into
I
it, I'm
hate-
sure there'll be enough fan fiction to
kill the 13-year-old,
you know,
but I'm
make him
if
alive
people
again.
really get into it,
I
I'm
hate-
sure there'll be enough fan fiction to
kill the 13-year-old,
you know,
but
make him alive again.
So.
I'm sure there'll be enough fan fiction to you know, make him alive again.
I'm sure I can write, like, spin-off where he doesn't
I'm sure I can write,
perish.
like, spin-off where he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I can write,
Perish.
like,
I know.
spin-off where he doesn't perish.
I can be sad. I can be sad. Authors can be sad about their decisions.
I can be sad.
Why am I not allowed to be sad?
Authors can be sad about their decisions.
Why am I not allowed to
Thanks.
be sad?
Authors can be sad about their decisions.
Yeah,
Why
but
am I
it's
not allowed to be
necessary. How am I supposed to get you addicted to the book if I don't get you emotionally attached?
Yeah, but it's necessary. How am I supposed
All
to
to
get
a
you
greater
addicted to the
good,
book
I
if I don't get you
swear.
emotionally attached? Yeah, but it's necessary.
Well, he's barely a teenager. He's a child. He's 13. I told you.
Well, he's barely
Like,
a teenager.
okay, so,
He's a child.
okay,
He's 13.
okay.
I told
So like the
you.
whole reason his
Like, okay, so,
I
okay.
know this is bad, and I know I'm like
Okay.
super
So,
evil
like, the
for
whole
this,
reason his-
but
I know this is bad, and I know I'm like
Okay.
super evil.
the
for
reason
this,
that his brother gets
but,
kidnapped is
I know
because
this is bad, and I know I'm like super evil.
the
for
reason
this.
basically
brother gets
but,
kidnapped.
any visitors to
because,
Earth, whether they're slavers or just visitors for
Basically,
the exoticness of humans,
Any visitors
they're
to
never
Earth,
going to go for
whether
someone
they're
who's in a group.
slavers
So if it's
just
two or more,
visitors
you're
for
safe,
the
you're fine.
exoticness of humans.
They're
They're
never
never
gonna
gonna go for someone who's
Nathan had
so if it's
very
two or
recently
more,
turned
you're safe,
13,
you're
and
fine.
he wanted to be big boy. And he's like,
Nathan had
hey, you can
very
go get our.
recently turned
He told his
13,
brother, like, hey,
and
you can
he
go get
wanted
supplies
to
while
be
I
big
go to the
boy.
bathroom.
And,
And
like,
of
hey,
course,
you can
Hank's
go
like,
get
that's
us-
a
he told
terrible
his brother, like,
idea.
hey,
We
you can go
should
get
not
supplies
do
while I
that.
go to the But Nathan wheedles at him, and because he loves his brother and he wants to make him happy, even if it's just going to the bathroom on his own, he finally agrees. Which means they're both alone. And it just so happens that Nathan goes pee in the woods, and Hank goes out in the open to get supplies from the supply drop, because each survivor is given a certain amount of supplies every month, depending on who's in their group and so on and so forth. And so doesn't make it to the supply drop. He gets kidnapped because he's alone, and he has, at the time, exotic green eyes, because green eyes aren't a very common eye color, especially after 3/4 of the population has been decimated, not counting all the people who died in the following months and next few years. So that's why Hank gets kidnapped. So that's why Hank gets kidnapped. Well, why? Because I'm a terrible person. Why? I'm not a terrible person, but because I'm a terrible. Gotta make that okay. Why? I'm not a terrible person, but Well, you gotta remember. I'm not a terrible person, but Well, you gotta remember. Well, I don't know if I might have never explained this. Terminate started as a 1K angsty short story attempt challenge for myself, and it evolved. So why did you think it wasn't gonna be hurt? So why it's a little bit hurtful. It's a little bit hurtful. Painful. Yeah. It's a little bit. Yeah, you knew what you were walking into. Painful. Yeah. It's a little bit. Yeah, you knew what you were walking into. They will eventually. They will. Well, not the ones that are dead. Not the ones. The ones that are alive will get a happy ending. None of them may, as far as I've planned, which is, I think 2 books after this. Unless my writing muse takes a turn and decides to murk somebody, no one else of the main cast is going to die. You may think they will die, and they may be very close to dying, but they won't be dead. You may think they will die, and they may be very close to dying. So, I could be worse. I only killed the 13-year-old. I'm very mean. Apparently. Not on purpose. I'm very mean. Apparently. Not on purpose. I could have killed the 9-year-old. Wait, I don't even. How old is Stevie? I did paralyze him from the waist down. I could have killed the 9-year-old. Let me explain. How old is Stevie? I did paralyze him from the waist down. Let me explain. Stevie. Let me explain. Okay, I didn't know. He's not a toddler. He's older than a toddler at least. Stevie. It's just. No, he's not a toddler. He's older than. Hold on, I gotta yawn. It's. Okay. It's just Stevie. I love Stevie now, but Stevie's birth came from anger at my brother. I love Stevie. Steven did something. My brother did something, and I got really mad, and I was like, Steven, I'm gonna kill you off of my butt. And he's like, no, don't do that. And originally Stevie was going to die. He's like, no, don't do that. But then I forgave my brother. Just decided to make him. Now he's alive. He's just paralyzed from the waist down. If it's any consolation, he'll get really cool space mechanical legs. If it's any consolation, he'll get really in further books. Mechanical legs. If it's any consolation, he'll get really in further books. Sometimes you just gotta do it to him. Okay, I didn't have to do it to him. Sometimes you just gotta do it to him. Okay, I didn't have to do apparently, it to him. But I chose to do it to him. Okay, I didn't have to do apparently, but I chose to do it to him. You know, oh, that's not what I wanted to open. But, yeah, kind of did a lot of, you know, oh, that's not what I wanted to open. But, yeah, kind of did a lot of, you know, oh, that's not what I wanted to open. But, oh, I see why it did not do what I wanted it to do. Cool. Only a bit of casual murder. It's nothing terrible. Only a bit of casual. Okay, it's a bit terrible. Okay, it's a bit. What are? Why do you exist? What is this? When did I make you? Okay, I'm just gonna. Yeah, there's nothing in it, but when did I make you? Anyway. Yeah, there's nothing in it. Oh my gosh, I have like low jazz in the background for my dogs, but I lowered it so like the stream wouldn't pick it up, and it's like vaguely going through my headphones, and it sounds off key and creepy, and I hate it. And it's like vaguely going through my headphones, and it sounds off key and creepy. Yeah, it sucks a lot. Yeah, it sucks a lot. It is. It sucks. It's like, you know, every Christmas horror movie that apparently has to come out. It's like, you know, every Christmas horror movie that apparently like Krampus or whatever. I hate. You know how much I hate that? Emotionally, very, yeah, see, anger is actually real this time. I accidentally clicked it. I didn't click it on purpose, but I hate horror movies during Christmas. I hate them. When Halloween is over, stop it. I do not care to be listening to my free Spotify, you know, when I didn't have premium, and just listening to my vibes, and then suddenly waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning because someone decided that it was a good thing to put an audio-based Krampus advertisement on Spotify when I'm listening to rain sounds. I don't want advertisement on Spotify. It is the worst. It is so awful, and I hate it emotionally. It is the worst. It is so awful, and I hate it emotionally. It is the worst. It is so awful, and I hate it emotionally. It is the worst. It is so awful. Mm-hmm. No, that's why it said untitled, because it had the same name, and I need to rename this. No, that's why it said untitled, because it had the same
Short,
name.
okay, sidecast.
Short, okay.
Short, descript. Okay, I'm just gonna put sidecast dot short. Okay, cool. And I need to sidecast dot short. Okay. That was a squeak and a half. Rename. Yeah, I don't even know if stream heard that, but I definitely heard it.
What
I don't even know if stream heard that, but I definitely heard it. I'm stupid in more than one way. Okay.
What
delete. So I did make it. I'm just dumb. In more than one way. Okay.
What
delete. So I did make it. I'm just dumb. Did I delete sidecast on X? Itai. I'm not so happy with myself right now. Itai. I'm not so happy with myself right now. Okay.
I'm not so happy with myself right now.
Sidecast. B. Why do I have to be so sidecast? Me. But yeah. In other news, aside from the murder of children. In other news, aside from the murder of children. Diversity is very important in my book too. In other news, aside from the murder of children. Diversity is very important in my book too. Well, I'm gonna commission art for like the 4 main people and the 2 main side characters that are very important for their character development. 4 main people and the 2 main side characters. For once, I'm sacrificing the man for the female's character development.
Not quite like that, but you know, kind of feels that way. Put that down. Here we go. Not quite like that, but you know, kind of feels that way. Why is it gotta make it hard for me? Why is it gotta make it hard? Okay, why is it gotta make it hard? Anyway, so we got some. Max is. Can this not be what's happening? Max is African American. Had a lot of fun with that. Because, like, every time I wrote Max, I just imagined this old, grizzled, black guy who is just. Like, I had a certain image for Max. He was never a white man, not gonna lie. Like, I had a certain image for Max. He was never a white man, not gonna lie. Like, I had a certain image for Max. He was never a white man. Well, okay. So it's very mixed because America is mixed just by all the whitewashing in media. It's very mixed because America is mixed. But it's for Terminate itself, the first book. It takes place in post-apocalypse America. The land that used to be called the USA. Now, it's not the only apocalyptic area because let me go. Now, it's not the because I know I definitely wrote this down. Apocalyptic area because let me go. Now, it's not the because I know I definitely wrote. Okay, that's miscellaneous. Here we go. Yeah. So there are different groups of protective areas because so before there are different terraform groups of protective areas because right after aliens first made contact with humans, there was a group that was created called Ally, and their goal was to create the best, better than nuclear shelters all around the world in the respective countries. All the people who came together to do it. And in the USA, the project was called the Tortoise Project, and so the shelters were called carapaces because that's another word for a tortoise shell. And then in Australia, there was the Armadillo Project, and the carapaces. And the shelters are called plates, which is in reference to how real armadillo shells are formed. In Japan, they have the Oni Project, which pretty self-explanatory. It's in reference to the different Oni in different regions in Japan. And there's a couple others. I think I have one in China and Russia, but I didn't come up with names yet. But what's really important is that the core, which is the EHC, the tyrant group in the book, cut off all communications in between the groups of carapaces. So none of them know about the other group. All of them think they are the last ones because they can't communicate and they can't travel that far. All of them think they are especially not when terraform literally it's called terraform. It terraformed the entirety of Earth. Everything is different. Especially not when terraform literally where you might have had an ocean or a sea, it's now like dry land. Where you might have had a mountain, it's now not necessarily a valley, but like it's got like maybe it's like a plateau that goes on for miles. It's like it changed the terrain, and with changes of terrain come changes in climate because everything is changing. So like no one can get anywhere fast, and even if they did, there would be no way to communicate that there were other groups alive. So they all think that they are not. And I definitely plan on writing like shorter novellas that cover those other groups, and they will become very important in the second book. But for now, it's gonna be like you can basically find every ethnicity and race in the United States. So I have a lot of freedom. I think you can do that everywhere, but in other countries and stuff, it may be harder. I think you can do that everywhere. I think, based on who they let in and stuff. Like Max is African American. His daughter is before she was moved to the android body. she was African American plus Hawaiian because her mom's Hawaiian.
Before she was moved to the Android.
Nathan and Hank are Laotian American. I had to represent myself. So Ritz is American Filipino.
I had to represent myself.
Part American, part Filipino.
Ritz is
American Filipino. Frank, which is he's a very close friend, basically her brother, also stupid Slytherin man. And I say this because he prioritizes Ritz being in his life and being relatively happy over anything and everything else in the world. Like, he literally could have stopped terraform and didn't, because he hated Earth and he was already on his way out of it with Ritz. So, you know.
He hated Earth and he was already on his way out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So basically, Ritz and her dad found Frank in a very dark place when they were teenagers. And so they basically saved him. Ritz more than anything, because she insisted, like, Dad, we are able and available to help him, and we should. And so they did. And so he's like, I want you in my life forever. I hate Earth because of all the terrible things that have happened to me on it. But you're the one light in this world. You're my sister, and you're like the best thing ever that has ever happened to me. And they became scientists together. They joined the Corps. Frank they both joined not knowing the ulterior intentions, but Frank eventually figured it out and, made sure Ritz didn't figure it out. And then when they were invited to go to the Mars base of the Corps, where they were like testing cures and stuff, Ritz was like, yeah, we can do that. Like, the cryopods are safe. That's already been tested. I don't mind doing that. And Frank was like, perfect. We're gonna go right before terraform hits. But you won't know about that. And we're gonna go. A really important part is
you won't know about that.
She really doesn't know about it even when she wakes up, because her cryopod gets locked up for 3 extra years after they make it to Mars. And so not only does she miss terraform, she misses all of the rebellions pretty much. That would have given her a clue about what was happening back on Earth. And while she gets a pretty high position thanks to Frank, she's the head of supply.
And while she gets
sending supplies down back to Earth for the survivors, she thinks it was just a natural. She thinks it was a natural disaster.
Sending supplies.
It was an accident or something. She thinks and she doesn't know. Everyone else thinks she knows. She doesn't.
It was an accident or something.
And in her arc, she starts figuring it out and has a big confrontation with Frank.
And in her arc, she starts figuring it out and has a big confrontation with Frank.
But anyway, moving on. Liliana and Kane Sylvain, they're very much so side characters, are Filipino. Hendrickson, he's very important for Nathan's part of the story. Not Nathan, Hank's part of the story. He's Egyptian. Silica, who becomes important to Max's part of the story, she's Scottish.
Silica, who becomes important to Max's part of the story, she's Scottish.
Kaylin is African American. She's one of the many leaders within Sync, which is the latest and greatest rebellion. But she's basically she's the second head honcho. She's the second in command.
But she's basically
Kai, who is our important child, who we need a lot. He's Italian.
Kai, who is our important child, who we need
Orion
a lot.
Gray.
He's Italian.
Gray Bellin. He's got a hyphenated name. He's Black Latino, but also he's part Italian. Italian from his dad, Black Latino from his mom. We love him.
He's part Italian.
His dad is Renato Bellin.
We love him. His dad is Renato Bellin.
His dad is Renato Bellin. He's Italian. It's his dad.
Is Renato.
Then we have Jack O'Connor. He's Irish, and he is mostly a side character. He's friends with Ritz. Then we have Chris Iodele. I don't know how to pronounce that right. I always pronounce it wrong. It is a South African last name, and I did put the meaning in my notes somewhere.
It is a South African last name, and I did.
Yes, he's South African.
My notes.
Then we have Salutaris.
He's South African. Then we have.
He's a alien.
Salutaris.
He's a hexen, which
He's a alien.
they're humanoid, but there's differences that I wrote down somewhere else that I don't have in my brain right now. And he's our love interest for Ritz. The one bit of romance that'll happen at the end.
And
he's pretty. I love him. You can see in my notes it says hot alien prince that saves Ritz after she gets jettisoned into space.
You can see in my notes it says hot
Which
alien
is
prince
a
that saves Ritz after she gets
which is a story for later. As to why she gets jettisoned into space.
Which is a story for later.
Then we have Polly Peeves, which is one of Ritz's colleagues. She's Haitian. Then we have Hui Fen Len,
which is one of Ritz's colleagues. She's Haitian.
Hui
Then we
Fen
have
Li,
Hui Fen Len,
um,
one of Ritz's colleagues. She's Haitian.
or Li Hui Fen. Hui Fen, if you would say it in the Asian order of names. She's Chinese, obviously. And I chose the name Hui Fen because it means wise and fragrant. And while she is Ritz's one of Ritz's colleagues, she's a very close friend and like an older sister figure for Ritz.
One of Ritz's colleagues.
Then we have Estrella Diaz. I'm gonna say it wrong. Estrella Diaz Santos. She is Cuban and another one of Ritz's colleagues. She is dating Edward Nobles. He's British. Another one of Ritz's colleagues. They're very cute together. He's very weak for his girlfriend.
Another one of Ritz's colleagues.
And then the last one that I have on the list that has a specified ethnicity, race, is Aaron Flanders. We hate him. Just know this now. We hate him. He's American. He is a doctor.
He's American.
He is technically Ritz's superior, but he forces Ritz to do all of his work while he basically just sits back and relaxes. He's also very demeaning toward the survivors and what remains of Earth. River, hush, my dear.
He's also very demeaning toward the survivors and what remains of Earth.
Yeah, my dog. She's like making little tiny growly noises. But yeah, that's all the people I've got dedicated,
but yeah, that's all the people
ethnicities
I've got
and stuff.
dedicated.
Every time I try to give someone an ethnicity or race, I have to look up what race or ethnicity means because I always forget and I always feel like I'm gonna get it wrong.
I have to look up what.
I'm like, did I screw this up?
Because I always forget. And I always
Is this
feel like
my
I'm gonna get it
fault?
wrong. I have to look up what. I'm like, did I screw this up?
Yeah, it's like I need to look this up again. Honestly, I feel like I need to look it up again. Because I'm like, I don't even know what to call this. They're this. Their lineage, their ancestry,
They're this.
or so on and so forth.
Lineage, their ancestry.
But yeah, if my book ever does get turned into book, if my book ever turns into book, if my book ever does turn into like a movie or something,
If my book ever does,
I will. They will not be able to make it unless I am a consultant. I do not care. They're not whitewashing my characters. I refuse.
I do not care.
I'm like, if you try to turn my main characters into white people, I can assure you, they are not.
I'm like, if you try to turn my main character
And while I can assure you, it's like while their ethnicity and race is like very important to the character, it's not like it's not something that really for most of them it's not something that really impacts it's not the key to the story. It's like they just so happen to be this because people can be other things than white and it can just be that way and be fine. Like it doesn't have to be some big thing. I mean, like it's a big thing in that people whitewash a lot of things. but it doesn't have to be a big thing in that it's the only thing that's special about them in the story. It's like, oh, we included this person just to have a little bit of diversity, and that's their only purpose. Like, that's not their only purpose in my story. Yeah. It's like I basically never see any representation for myself. And for a lot of my friends, it's like we don't exist. I'm like, excuse you. Like when I found out, for example, that Ray,
we don't exist.
No,
I'm like, excuse you.
No, hooray.
Like,
No, not
when
Ray.
I found out, for example,
I'm bad at names. She's a popular streamer, and I watched her for a while.
I'm bad at names. She's a popular streamer, and I watched her
She
for
plays
a
with
while.
Corpse, and she plays with Saikuno. Valky Ray. It is Ray. I wasn't wrong. Okay, cool. She's Filipino.
It is Ray. I wasn't wrong.
She's
okay,
like
cool.
she may not be full Filipino. I think she's half like me.
She's Filipino.
But she's Filipino. When I found that out, I felt amazing. It's like it wasn't even like a super important thing. She just so happened to be Filipino, and that was so cool for me. Like I've never read a book and had the main character be half Filipino or even Filipino. Like that's just never happened for me. And I just like, you know what? Yeah, because like originally, Ritz was just gonna be American because I thought it'd be funny to have the white person named Ritz because of Ritz crackers. But then I was thinking about it, and I was like, I like the name Ritz because it's just it's always called out to me for a character. But I also basically have no representation for myself, and you know what? This may be a little bit in self-insert territory, but she's not me, and I know she's not, so I don't really mind it. I'm like, I'm gonna put myself in there. I'm gonna represent myself. Thanks. Because like writers put in their own experiences and stuff, so I can do that too. Because like writers put in their own experiences and stuff, so I can. And I will. And I will go into heavy detail. And I will. Oh my goodness! I can't believe it's been an hour already. And I will. Oh my goodness! I can't believe it's been an hour already. Every once in a while, it's okay. But yeah, actually, Nathan and Hank, I had a friend who was Laotian, and their last name was Poipom. That's where I got the last name from. They were a good friend. We had JRTC together in high school. And I was like, you know what? A little homage. They were a good friend. We had JRTC together in high school. And I was like, you know what? There's a lot of notes that I have to transfer. I don't even know where all of them. Okay, I actually need to. Okay, so that's side cast short, main cast. I also need to make a main cast short. You can write. No, it's not my dog. It's my brother. Yeah, he's on the other side of the house right now. If you can hear him, that says something. Yeah, he's on the other side of the house right now. That really does say something. If you can hear him, that says something. Yeah, he's on the other side of the house right now. That really does say something. If you can hear him, that says something. No, my dogs are completely silent right now. I hate to break it to you. That was my brother. My dogs are completely silent right now. I hate to break it to you. That was my brother. So I can just copy and paste. Yeah, that's one thing that's really convenient. You can open different notes at the same time. Yeah, it's very convenient for me. Different notes at the same time. So all the main 6 are up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct. So all the main 6 are up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct. So I was like, I called this stream the book ain't gonna write itself. I'm not even writing the book right now. I'm literally just doing notes. The book ain't gonna write itself. But that's how it goes. Right now, I'm literally just doing notes. But that's how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna finish putting in the terms notes, and then I think I'll do a little bit of putting in the terms notes, But yeah, when I write the book, I'm gonna put in the book what I used to have in the good old days. There's gonna be maps. There's gonna be terms as used in the book. There's gonna be. I don't know if I'm actually gonna have like chapter names because I know those are like funny and enjoyable sometimes, but I never wrote the chapters with names in mind, so I don't think I could do that. Funny and enjoyable sometimes, but I am gonna have like maps and the terms as used in the books. I am gonna have like maps and an actual summary on the back because I don't want to hear what and random New York critic said when I don't know who they are. I wouldn't even know who they are. The amount of books I read as a kid where it's like, this New York critic said blah, 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 and I'm like, I don't even know who that is. I don't care. Give me the summary. Stop putting the summary on the inside flap of the paper cover that gets lost in 30 seconds. Give me the summary. Stop putting the summary on the inside flap of the paper cover that gets lost in 30 seconds. Like you never. It is very important, and like you never realize it's a problem until later, and you're just like, wait, hold on a minute. It is very important, and like you never realize it's a problem until later, and you're just like, wait, hold on a minute. It is very important, and like you never realize it's a problem until later. Mm-hmm. Wait, hold on a minute. It is very important, and like you never realize it's a problem until later. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if I have the patience to make these all italics. I don't know if I can. I really don't know if I do. Because in my notes I have like the beginning, like the word italicized, and then the rest, the definition like regular. I don't know if I have the page, but I have to re-italicize it when I move it to Obsidian. And I have a lot of terms. A lot of book-specific terms. A lot of like when the terms are first introduced, like you'll be able to figure out what they are with context clues if it's not like explicitly stated. But it's always nice to have the terms as used in book in the back. But it's always nice to have just in case you got it wrong in your head. Because the amount of times I screwed things up reading really long books as a kid was long. This isn't like necessarily aimed towards kids. There's a lot of death and murder. This isn't like necessarily aimed and slavery. There's a lot of for children. Death and murder. This isn't like necessarily aimed and slavery. So I mean, it's for like it's. I never had like an intention. I had never had an intentional audience, but looking at what I've written so far, which is most of the book. I'm thinking it's not quite YA. But it's not like old adult. I'm thinking like older adult either. It's like that weird twilight zone in between young adult and older adult. Like older adult either. It's like that weird twilight zone in between young adult and older adult. Yeah, older young adult. They're older young adult. Yeah. They're older young adult. Yeah. But you also... Yeah, you need to be a little older. Because, you know... You need to be a little older. Yeah. You know... Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. It's not like I, glide past the death, either. There's some, there's some descriptive scenes that people might want to avoid. Like Nathan tripping over a dead body and throwing up. Like Nathan tripping over a dead body. You don't sound like you love it. You don't sound like you love it. What do you mean? Okay, because the writing muse. What do you mean? Okay, it wasn't intentional. It's just the way the book went. What do you mean? Okay, it wasn't intentional. Well, because like it's just the way the book went. When I was writing like the riot scene in Max's point of view, when I was writing like the riot scene, like Nathan wasn't even there when I was writing it. Not in the back of my mind, not in the notes anywhere. Nathan not what like no, it was when I got to Nathan's part that I started writing. It was just like boom, when he wakes up after losing the tip of his tongue. Boom, when he wakes up after. Okay, look, core soldiers are not nice. Okay, look. Okay, soldiers. Listen. Not nice. So let me. I'm going to explain more things. Congrats. Listen. Basically, when before Terraform, long before Terraform, years before Terraform, when people from the who joined the core, when they started. Excuse me, I'm burping. Excuse me, I'm burping. Okay. When they started joining the court, not long after there was a opportunity for them to move to space. Move to Mars, to the Mars base, the different colonies, try going out to different planets or whatever, right? For like work opportunities. And often they would have kids, and they would take the kids with them. And after Terraform, there was a lot of people who were in space, not on Earth, obviously, who like grew to have this distasteful view about survivors and people who were on Earth. And so that derisive point of view extended to their children, and it extended to other people, including the kids who would grow up to become core soldiers. And not all of them were even human either. Like a lot of them were like from other races who just, because other people were derisive toward the survivors, they were too. And so, unfortunately, some of them were like even worse than just derisive and were downright cruel and torturous to survivors and would look for any excuse to inflict pain upon them. And when Nathan was running around trying to find his brother, he accidentally went into an off-limits zone. And even when he told the truth, unfortunately, core soldiers had a reputation for saying whatever that a survivor was saying was a lie, and then cutting off the tip of their tongue so they don't lie. Again, quote unquote, even if it's the truth. That's why he lost his tongue. The tip of his tongue, anyway. Which gave him, it gave him a lisp, for obvious reasons. The amount of, it gave him like, he can still speak, but he had to like learn to speak with, without the tip of his tongue. He can still speak, but he had to like learn to speak with, the amount of times I had to test different vowel and just syllable sounds and see which one's involved at the tip of the tongue, like T. It's like just to recheck myself. Like even in my notes, I literally have it in my notes where it's like all the letters he can and cannot say. Like even in my notes, I literally have it. Like where is it? I know I can pull it up. It's not very far. Yeah. Okay. Bolded is yes. Italics is sometimes. Okay. So I can't even tell. Bolded is yes. Italics is sometimes. Okay. So I can't even tell. Okay. So we can't say D. Or L, or N, okay, so we can't say or T, D, or L. He can say S, okay. Or N, okay, so U, V, W, T. X is sometimes. He can say S, okay. Or N. Yeah, so he can't say D, L, N, or T, and sometimes he can't say X. Yeah, so he can't. And he can't do the th sound because you need the tip of the tongue for that, and he has to work on that. And he can't do the th after his very traumatic experience that I inflicted upon him. I know. I know. I know. Yeah. I know. I know. I know. Yeah. I know. But that was also important. So the reason why I cut off the tip of his tongue, aside from the trauma, was because in the very beginning of the book, the very first scene is Max meeting Nathan. Because the way the story arcs are told, it's kind of weird. Because the way it's so for example, Max's arc is the first arc, and Nathan's arc would start about halfway through his arc. So I don't even have a drawing thing that I can use. But for example, let me go down here. I don't know if the stream will take a bit to catch up. But for example, let's say Max's arc is this long, right? Let's say Nathan's arc would start about. Nathan's arc would start about. Okay. Nathan's arc would start about here. Like crossing in the middle, like near the end, maybe a little closer to the middle of his arc. And then like for Ritz's arc, because she has the last arc of his arc. It would start about very close to the end of Nathan's arc, actually. It would start about very close to the end of it. Start about here, and then it's kind of like a stepping case time thing. Start about here, and then it's kind of like a with specific callbacks because technically Nathan also starts at the very beginning of Max's arc. But it's only briefly. And then, like, it's the first, yeah. It's either the first or second chapter, and then the chapter right after that, time skips back to where Nathan actually is. And then the chapter right after that, it's a bit complicated. It's a bit complicated. But the reason why I, committed trauma against a 13-year-old, committed trauma against was because I needed Max to be sympathetic toward him. Because Max has seen plenty of kids running around without an adult and without a guardian in dystopian times. And he has his own daughter to take care of because they never know when the android body's going to mess up or if they'll run out of fuel for the android body or so on and so forth. So he's focused on him and his daughter for the most part. But when things particularly gut-wrenching catch his eye, like a kid he's got the tip of his tongue cut off, who looks really bedraggled and is running around desperately, now that's going to tug at a lot of people's heartstrings, including a hardened heart of a post-apocalyptic survivor. And I needed and Hank needed to feel sympathetic to Nathan because Hank needed to give Nathan a tracker that Nathan could possibly use to find his brother. And this tracker would lead him into the events of finding the fib and then, going through everything he goes through there. That's why Nathan gets hurt in a lot of ways. Like, did I have to hurt him? I did make Nathan go through a lot, but at least he's at peace now. I did make Nathan go through a lot. I mean, considering his death was pretty quick. When you die in an explosion, it doesn't last very long. Especially when you're basically at the heart of it. When you die in an explosion, it doesn't last. So it's not like I extended his suffering. Especially when you're basically at the heart of it. In death. So it's not like I extended his suffering. Especially when you're basically at the heart of it. In death.
And I'm sure people will fix the things they think that I did were mistakes. And I'm sure people will fix the things when this gets published and if they become fans of it. Which hopefully, fingers crossed, they will. Okay, I actually did all the terms while ranting at you. Okay, I actually did all the terms. I know, okay, so I guess I'll stop here and move on to the room for the rest of the stream. Just to give myself a little bit of spice and to give you a bit of respite from most of the murder I have been committing. I know. But before, just one last little look. I know. It expanded. It's bigger. The connections are more now. I know. It expanded. It's bigger. The connections are more now. Yep. It expanded. It's bigger. The connections are more now. Yep. Oh my gosh, Steven, shush. Can you hear him? Oh my gosh, Steven, shush. Can you hear him? He is laughing like a hyena. Oh my gosh. He is laughing like That's his laugh when he's like, okay, he can, like, usually he has like, a good old chuckle or something like that, right? Okay. But when he's like playing games and he's like letting loose completely and he's like really laughing, he sounds like a hyena. Like, it's high pitched, short. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I need to change the stream name. No, I don't want to edit the quick actions. I want to edit the stream info. Okay. Last time I streamed on Friday, one of my friends tried to join, but because I think their account was too new, and they could like, apparently even after they verified, they weren't able to comment, and so I thought I was alone. It made me sad. I thought I was alone the entire time, but apparently they were trying, and I was like, why didn't you text me on Discord? And they're like, I didn't want to bother you. You were in stream, and I'm like, no, don't say that to me. You text me on Discord. You text me on Discord. Alright, I'm changing things. Stream. Details. Alright, me, Hezekiah, no longer uses. No longer actually plays on his profile. No, Radeon. Actually, I need Radeon to go away because Radeon hurts me emotionally. Every time I turn on this computer, I have to disable the hotkeys for Radeon. It's annoying. But sometimes Radeon is useful. I might have to move you. You might be in the way. Or not, but we'll see. Okay, so I'll press continue game. So, I moved on to a new... So, you've missed like a whole game in like 2 rooms. Yeah, you missed a whole game in 2 rooms. Yeah, the room 2. I did the room 1. Skip was there with me for all of the room 1 and the first room in the room 2. He's actually the one that started like the naming of the rooms. If you'll notice, brain, please. If you'll notice, there's like a little name in the upper left-hand corner. And he started naming the rooms in the first game because they didn't have names, and like the only thing they would say was like
congrats, you have like a good mind, but do you really think you've proven yourself yet? I just remember the last part is, do you really think you've proven yourself yet? And that's all I would say. But in the second game, I know it's kind of rude. In the second game, they kind of have like names like the crypt, the temple, whatever, but I decided to give them names anyway. This room's name is Mr. Grayson because Mr. Grayson is who I assume owned this room. Or it might have been Maggie, because she was like pretending to be a medium, or maybe actually was in the game, because game logic is different to my logic. Right now, I'm trying to find a place to put this dial. I know it's on a safe, but I can't find the safe. I may just be blind and dumb, but I can't find it. I'm blind and dumb. There's the safe. We're not gonna talk about it. Cause I couldn't find it for so long. The last time I played on Friday when I thought I was alone, but I wasn't. I couldn't find it, and cause I played these when I was younger, but obviously don't remember anything. Clearly my memory does nothing for me at all. Okay, I think I need to put hope, so I need to do this until I find an H or not. What? Oh, maybe it's con. Maybe it's con. No, maybe it's con. So I'll K H River Hush N. No, it wasn't good enough. Maybe it was the placement of the N. K H A N. River. I love you, but shush. Yes, that's it. Why did the lights flash? I didn't like that at all. Is your cat being a butt? Naughty, naughty. He's the one doing wrong, but he doesn't care. Inventory object found. He's your boy. The null tarot card. I was gonna need this later. Okay, can this like crack open so I can put this picture scrap in it? Alright, I knew I was gonna need the null because this says something. It says, okay, the null graced me with time for a dozen lives' work. Now death returns to take his due. Null, time, and death. That's what I need to put in. Yeah, it kind of hinted at the fact that that tarot cards were going to be important in the second game in the first game. Because there would be like a different ripped up tarot card in the screen it would put up after you solved one of the boxes / rooms. Oh, the whole room is shaking. Not liking that. Also, I didn't... Can you hear the game? Because I can't hear it. Yes. Where did it go? I don't remember muting it. This is rude. You hear it? Why can't I hear it? Why don't I get to hear it? Well, at least everyone else gets to hear it. This. Hold on. Okay, back. It's not allowed to do that. I want to hear it too. I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect my headphones. See if that's the problem. No, I don't want to remove it. Disconnect. Connected. Okay, try speaking to me, Alejandra. Okay, I can hear you. I still can't hear the game. This... Is it coming out of... Hold on. If I make it louder... No, that's just the Christmas music. I don't know where it's going. I don't know where the audio's going. I am so confused right now. Like if I look at the mixer, I didn't mute it. What? Maybe it'll start playing. I don't know. This shattered. Okay. Options. I'm gonna scream. I want to hear it too! Why does everyone else get to hear it but me? I know. Cause I can, okay, so if I turn to the Be Right Back page, I can hear the Christmas music that I put up. But not through my headphones. I can only hear it, it's on the little speaker on my, oh my gosh, hold on. Let me go to my computer output settings. Because I can hear it on the other monitors, speakers, built-in speakers. But I can't hear it in my headphones. Audio. Sound settings. Okay, output is my headphones. So why are you doing this to me? Yeah. Okay, display. This is just rude at this point. Okay, output. I do not understand. I am the big sad. Okay, that didn't do anything. So you can hear it from your end, right? You should be able to hear the Christmas music. Can you also hear the room music? So if I go back to main, you should be able to hear it if it's playing. So I went back to main, and after it loads, I'm gonna ask you, can you hear it? I guess my stream manager loads faster than other people get to see. You can hear like the little bit of ambiance. Like if I go, okay, I can't. Okay, if I go to, you can hear it. Okay, this is rude. Okay, I'm gonna open Discord. Voice and video. Try speaking to me.
Yellow, yellow.
Okay, there is something wrong here.
Try speaking again. Okay, so I've on my on Discord says output device. My headset hands free AG audio, but then my headset stereo. And for some reason, okay, I know what I'm going to do, and you won't be able to hear me for a second. I'm going to delete my connection. Okay. And I can't hear you either. I'm just going to delete my connection, and then I'm going to reconnect it and see if that fixes it. If it doesn't, big sad, and only everyone else will get to hear it, and I'll just suffer, I guess. But, okay. This is stupid. Okay, remove device. Yes. Your headset is disconnected. Okay, add.
What's your fancy voice?
I can hear you through my desktop.
Oh.
I think because I put it back on default. Alright. It's pairing. I wonder if you can hear yourself on stream. Well, I mean, you would.
I'm trying to listen in.
Okay, there it is. Connecting. Please work. That's all I ask. Okay. Done. Okay, I can hear you in my headphones again. I think. Breathe. No, I can't. Oh, there you are. Cool. Headphones. Am I allowed to hear the room now? I can! I can hear it now! I fixed it! Okay, I figured out what happened. When I couldn't hear you earlier and I tried to fix you, I did something that broke it further. And then when I tried to fix it, I only semi-fixed it. I fixed it for hearing you, but not for hearing anything else. So I had to disconnect. I had to delete my connection and then reconnect my headphones, which not too terrible of a solution, but it did cost me like 5 minutes, which makes me sad. Oh, my distraction. Oh my gosh. I don't gotta do it now. Alright. I gotta use this lens on this picture, and now the picture is, there's a dead guy. Is there gonna be a dead guy at the table? There is a dead guy at the table. Cool. Are you Mr. Grayson? Did I actually name this room correctly? There's a pocket watch. Okay, nothing special. Is the time important? You'd think you could... Oh, I can. I needed to click it. Oh, it's special holographic. I can look into it and dive into it. Like Portal. Oh, I'm not going into it. A key's coming out. With creepy, dramatic music. Yay! I wonder who the second viewer is. Because or the other two viewers. They haven't said hello, but that's okay. You don't have to say anything. It's nice that you're here, watching me freak myself out after transferring my notes for my book. Oh, this is the end of it. What are you? You're not what I usually see. Oh, a boat. Achievement unlocked. Anybody there? No, nobody's dead. A skeleton is. Skeleton. Look at the tarot card. It says damnation. That doesn't fill me with joy. This does not spark joy. Chapter complete. You are to be congratulated. You escaped the curious events of the seance with all your faculties intact. I prefer Mr. Grayson, because that...
has all of the alarm bells. Oh, I'm on the boat I saw in the flashback, so that's cool. And the crank I need is on a... Oh, no! Thank you! No. That was a tendril, my guy. That's a big no. I don't need to look around. There is no looking around that is needed. I kind of wonder what would happen if I stayed there, but I actually do not have the I don't have the bravery to oh, that's another tendril. I don't have the bravery to do that. I'd rather go into this other creepy house with leaves floating in the air, even though all of the trees are dead. Chapter complete. Even short journeys can cover great distance, and by making it to the other side of the crossing, you are now ready for the final step. May good fortune go with you. I missed the achievement, but that's fine. The tarot card says isolation. Why? Why? That's not necessary. That's not necessary. That gives me every not good vibe possible. Definitely not my favorite thing. Okay, now we're in this room. Let's give it a room. Let's give this room a name. Well, we usually just go off of vibes. I named the last one Mr. Grayson because he was one of the people talked about in the other letters in the room that wasn't from the guy we've been following named AS. And it just gave off a Mr. Grayson vibe. This is an isolated... So, who's like an isolated mad scientist? I mean, because we're gonna name it Doofenshmirtz. That's perfect. Okay, let me write it down in my notes, because I've been writing down all the names. I'm sorry. This is the 5th room. I think it's the last room. If my memory of my childhood is any correct recollection. Do I remember anything of how to solve this room? No. But, I don't remember any other rooms after this, and if there is another one, I'm screwed. Okay, let me spell this right. Doofenshmirtz. Why? Incorporated. Schmertz. Is that correct? I need to look it up. I need to look up his name. I don't remember what it is. Doofenshmirtz. Ignore limit. I don't know why I put a limit on myself when I never listened to it. Alright. I was close. Okay, Doofenshmirtz. Yeah, the only thing I missed was the H. Okay. Alt-tab. Gonna change the name of the box. Dr. Doof in Schwartz. I think this is a little bit too creepy for his own tastes. But nonetheless. Yep, nonetheless, this is the name now. Alright. My butt! I've been sitting in this chair for so long. And now, almost 2 hours now. That's okay. Alright, I'm turning off hints. If I really need it, I'll turn it on. Because I've been like, when I started this series, I was like, I'll have them on just in case I need them. But every time I try to use them, I already figured out that part and it wasn't helpful at all. So, you know. Yeah, there was pretty much no point to it at all. Alright, let's look around with this. First, let's go to the center. Anything special? Oh, you're in red and glow. You may be important. Ooh, can I move this? No, I cannot. Okay. Big sad. I need to look at other places. Okay, let's look over here. I can't click. Can I? I can't click on that. Okay. What are you? The light flickers. So inspiring. Okay. This doesn't go all the way. This won't go down. I'm gonna need a battery? You look like a big battery socket. So I'm gonna assume I'm gonna need a battery for that part. This is definitely a viewy thing, because there was something similar to this in the first game. Which means I'm gonna need a roll. The first game didn't need a roll, but, I know that a roll is gonna go here. Because that's just, what else would go there? There needs to be a roll of film to look at. Right, and this is... That jewel will probably be able to light up. Anything that's like jewel-like and likely lights up. So that is a mirror, obviously, because I can see across the room. It's a mirror that I will be using eventually. I don't see any notes from AS, which is really weird. Can I... Yeah, and in this game, there's supposed to be a note from AS in every room because we're following his footsteps. Even though he was stupid and we were stupid for following him. But you know. Like, there's a lot. I theorized a bunch in the other videos. Ooh, that's a light. That's a light. Basically, he was trying to find the meaning of the null element for like power and stuff. And he called the Colt stupid, but then he used himself as a catalyst for one of his experiments, which honestly... Yeah. He's stupid. And apparently, you might have not been there for that stream, but apparently, the visions he was being showed us following him. So he knew we were coming, and so he tried to leave notes to prepare us. Now, my one question was why didn't he, leave a bomb in his house and blow it up? Or something. Like, so we couldn't follow. Everyone who's had the null element in their hands has winded up a part of the metaphysical space. Okay, I was trying to reference it to something. Daedalus, the labyrinth, the Greek myth of the labyrinth, Daedalus's labyrinth. River, hush. Anyway, basically the labyrinth that Daedalus built. Okay, experiment 1.27, subject Alpha 17, Lamprina arata. Subject unresponsive to post-mortem application of serum 04 combined with electrical stimulation. Frankenstein? Of range 10 to 100 megawatts? MA? Corpus degradation considerable with high amps? Conclude Coleoptera? Unsuitable for further study. I guess that's the name he gave the subject. Or he or she. We don't even know if, this mad scientist is okay, I need a battery. What's this? Can I click on that? Why have it look like I can click and pick it up when I can't? Oh. Oh, well, yeah, definitely just gonna leave that there. Because lights are gonna be important. But first, I need to find a battery. Is there a note from AS on this table that I just didn't notice? No. Is there anything on the side I can click on? The only thing I can see is this thing. But I can't do anything with this. Not as of yet, anyway. Why you gotta be so complicated? There's stuff on the floor, but can I click on it? No. Can I open this drawer? Drawer? I always question my pronunciation, but at some point I don't care and just call it drawer anyway. Okay. I'm not looking at the hint. I turned them off for a reason. Ooh, I can make seam bales. And based off of this little notch, I'm going to need to get another one of these sliders. I can't even get it around. Can I get it around? This is very difficult. I don't know what it wants. Okay, anyway. Don't blink at me! Stop it! Get some help. You frighten me. Stop. Okay. Seriously. What? Oh. Hello. Oh, I can. I just needed to click on the actual drawer handle. Wow, intelligence. A screwdriver. And another note card. Another data card, actually. Experiment 2.07. Subject Beta 4. Ratus ratus. I wonder what that is. Subject's necrosis significantly halted by pre-mortem application of serum 5. Temporary musculature reflex restoration witnessed with post-mortem electrical stimulation of range 75 to 85 MA. So I guess his experiments are actually getting somewhere. Not that that brings me any joy. Is there anything underneath? Is there anything underneath here? I guess not. It has an arrow pointing down, so I think that I could. But I suppose not. Alright, I know what I can do with the screwdriver because I saw a screw on this globy thing with human entrails on the inside or whatever that is. That's not very appealing to me or anyone else. Lefty loosey. A wooden box. Why do I have... Why? Okay, I got a wooden box. It's another puzzle box to solve. A wooden box. Another puzzle box to solve within the puzzle room. The human entrails stopped moving, which, you know, is nice, but also hatred? I don't know. I'm not sure about that part. I only saw the symbols around here, and that's a number. Makes sense. Okay. I need to move it to these squigglies. I think that's a 1. It looks like a 1. Then the S that's crossed off is a 7. Why is it easy to move it now? Is it because I got the box? And then... Yep, apparently so. And then turn this to... Not 4. 3! And it unlocked, and it's a battery! Inventory object found, battery. Because honestly, what else could this have possibly have been? The Parker Cellco carbon battery. That's bad for the environment. But considering we're in the null, I think, at this point, the environment is the least of our worries. Are we ever going to escape? You know, actually, apparently you don't sleep. Yeah, apparently there's been no need for... Like, AS didn't need to sleep. Like, he left a note that said there has been no respite, no pangs of hunger, no need for sleep, only more rooms. And I'm just like, bro, that kind of... No thanks, bruv? I mean, we've never slept either since, you know, going through this. So, like, we haven't slept since... Like, we didn't even sleep in the first game. When we were in the house and not in the null. Though we might have already been in the null the moment we walked into the house. That remains to be seen. Considering when I was playing the first game, you were there, like... Every time I went into another box, it was technically smaller, but when we went to look at it, it was bigger? So, like, big questions.
Light! Okay. Okay, there we go. And I already moved it to the reflection point it needs to be on, I think. No, it moved it back. That's rude. Ooh. Pop. Ooh. I know where this goes. In the jar we, it sounds wrong every time I say it. In the jar we opened earlier, and here, there was a little, yeah, above it, little star-shaped emblem. This is like the 4th or 5th time there's been a little star-shaped something out of metal that you had to get and put somewhere. So stars are very important, I think, especially with all the astrology in the last game. Turn, because it said handle. Oh, yep. Oh, maybe now that it says 2. Yes, and maybe is there something underneath? There is a bug. Giant water bug. Why a bug? Actually, why a bug? Well, I mean, if we look at this first one, that's a hand. I didn't notice that before. If we look at this first one, it says Lamprina aurata. Kind of sounds like a scientific name for something, so maybe he's been using bugs and rats for the experiments. Well, I have a bug, so I mean, that's all we can really assume. A reel. A drum of images. A reel. And then a letter. Kirkton Sanatorium, Infirmary and Municipal Dispensary. Municipal, yeah. Dispensary for Consumptives, 22 Urquhart Mount, Aberdeen, Scotland. Dear Professor de Montfaucon. That must be the guy who made this laboratory. Well, I don't doubt your altruistic motives. Your sister's condition is not aided by her continued confinement to your estate. I beg of you to see Madame Lucy return to the sanatorium as early as can be arranged. Yours, Dr. Beckett. So he was messing with the knoll to try and save his sister, probably. I can only assume, and then things didn't go so well. Okay. Da 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 da. That's some happy music for this creepy game. All right. I need another battery? Maybe I should go steal the battery from the light. I can't. Then what can I do? I have a screw. So maybe I can unscrew something. That's a little too close to the mic. Oopsie daisies. If I go back to... Oh! I need to go back. Crap. Well, it's not necessarily a bad thing that I went back to 1, but I need to go back to 2 because I forgot to click the other one. This is definitely null stuff at work. I can open it now. It's bugs. Well, I see why I got a bug now. Why can't I put it in? Do I need to get closer? I do.
Oh, it goes over there. Interesting. And another data card. Experiment 5-1, subject EH, upper right appendage severed at glenohumeral joint. Necrosis, I'm not sure which. Necrosis in subject halted completely via pre-mortem application of serum 5, followed by post-mortem application of serum 4. Perfect musculature reflex witnessed with the electric stimulation at 77 and 3/4 MA. So he's getting closer to his goal, but who knows if he actually wants to get to that goal. Well, I mean, he wants to, but it's not necessarily going to bring him what he wants. A large handle. I don't know what to do with this. I well and truly do not know what to do with this. Where would I put it? Would it go on the end of the crank of the roll? No, I guess not. I don't think there's any cranks needed over here either. Oh, maybe it's okay. It's a square hole. Is this a square peg? I mean, that's a square peg. Is this a square hole? It looks like it from the angle from the angle I had. Okay, I can move this. This is hard with the mouse. Hey! Now I can move it here. Nice. Another thing activated. Which mirror is that? Oh, it's the mirror over here. That red bug looked kind of reflective. So maybe I can... Oh, yep, definitely reflective. That's in my face. Ooh. I opened a new part of the armoire and another battery, which I knew I was going to need. Can I just... I had to zoom in closer. Oh, and a bug. A large rhinoceros beetle. Okay, interesting. Is there anything else over here? Oh, hey. A piece of broken plaque. Why would that be in a medicinal tonics jar? Weird. Experiment 13. Subject L. Cardiac viscous. Necrosis halted indefinitely. Manual operation at 77 and 3/4 MA. The facsimile of life restored only with proximity to raw null. No further avenues, no way back. Dear Lucy, forgive me, I was too late. Oh, that means his sister must have died. That sucks. Dear Lucy, forgive me, I was too late. That's stupid. Hiss. He tried so hard, only for her to die, for him to be stuck with his mistakes. Because not only did he not save her, he probably got himself stuck here as well. That sucks, bro. Okay. Bug. Okay. 2 more bugs to get. And I remember, I think there was like a broken plaque thing in the first jar. Not sure, though. Open. There we go. Oh. A fuse. It looks like it's intact. Why would I need a fuse? The other one... Is the other one gonna break? Is the other one gonna break and be mean to me? Is that what's gonna happen? Because this thing definitely uses a fuse. Put that in. Ah. Yes. It was in fact going to break on me. It's a good thing they didn't take away this screwdriver. And the fact that I found the new fuse, that was an accident. I just saw the plaque and knew where it went. Nice. Now, bring me back. Okay, up here. And I have charged a battery yet again. But this is really messing with the lights everywhere. Kind of wigs me out. I wonder what I'm going to see in this film. I'm not super excited about seeing it because every other film has been really creepy. Oh, it is the arm that's in the jar. Do I have to use this? I do. It could have been worse. It's just 2 symbols and creepy music. Really loud and creepy music. And a bug. Can I look at it where it's burned? No. Ugh, this sucks. Hated that. Okay. But I'm in it for the puzzles. And the theories. That was intense. Hold on. Why are you suddenly so loud? A small metal handle. Okay, I knew I was gonna need that. And now you're suddenly really quiet. What, do I either get overpowering or death? I mean, death or regular? That's kind of rude. I know where it goes because I used the other one over here earlier. And I have to go look at what's scratched into the glass. Weird V's and a target with the scratch through it. Okay. Ah! Cool. Will this do anything? It will. But it won't do anything with that anymore. So is there any... I think there's a keyhole on the main box. Yep. Oh, that must be the last bug. Strangely shaped key. That won't... The keyhole's shape doesn't match the key. Can I mess with it? Or is this the wrong key? Must be. So, where else is there a keyhole? Not gonna lie, y'all. My butt is getting really sore in this chair. Despite the fact that I have a cushion. Where would this key go? Maybe the other jar? I don't think so, though. Yep. That's just where the bug was. I wish I could open that book. I'm very curious as to what was inside. As to what is inside, rather. Well, there's no keyhole on that. Man, those noises do not fill me with joy. Okay, that's where I found the star thing.
Can I? Oh, I can move it. I should have noticed when this had the 3 pieces. There we go. There we don't go? What the heck? Oh, it's an arrow, not a diamond. There we go. No, 1, 2, 3. That yes? No, actually, weird. But I do know where the last bug goes. I wonder what it'll do. Hopefully not something that'll creep me out, but probably something that will creep me out. It's how it goes. Oh, something that didn't creep me out. But maybe it will when I move this light. When I reflect it onto it. What will it do? I wonder. Man, this light is really getting reflected around. What? A lens. It looks like it would fit my eyepiece. Usually when I get a new lens, it's because I'm either in a new game or going, and I assume in this case, going to a new game. And finally, a note from AS. Oh, it's stacked on my other one. Welcome. It seems to be my fate to be forever standing on the shoulders of greater men. Montfaucon's work here makes mine appear that of a child, but he never cracked the final secret to the doors as I have. He carried with him the key all along, and he never realized the soul is the root of the null. It comes down to a simple trade, mine for hers and hers for yours. The heart is the seat of the soul. Travel well and don't look back. Whatever you see here, don't look back. Well, it's a good thing I didn't look back on that boat ride. Oh, but now there's a bunch to see. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Right. Okay, 3 is supposed to be. Oh, I can move them. Okay. So where are the others? There's equations everywhere. Okay. 1 is that triangle. Basically looks like the Triforce to me. Okay. There. That's a heart. That's a heart. Probably a human heart, too. I don't like that. It's beating. And now it's beating fast. Creepy stuff. Yay! We really made Dr. Doof take a dark turn. And now it's the creepy tendril door. Okay, that Screechy is not doing anything for my mental health at all. But we're back in what really looks like the null space, but we were probably still there. And now we have another of these hexachrons. Skip had the correct name for them. I never remember. It was eaten by the goo. I didn't even get to do the fancy stuff with it. And there's my brother laughing like a hyena in the middle of it all. Different doors. Hello! I've made it. I finished the room and now we're in the null. It's, the null, well, I think it's the null. The null is like the fifth element, basically. Like, there's fire, water, air, earth, and then the null. And in, like, for the Incas, they called it space. The ancient Persians called it up. At least, you know, in the lore of the game. Because we gotta know about it. And it's, like, this weird element that's, like, the root of the, like, and the root of it is, like, in your soul or whatever. And it's, like, it connects everything that's messed with it. And another door. Cool. Also got a new lens. I got a green lens, which usually signifies that I'm in a new game. But since this is I'm not in a new game. I think it's the last game. Oh, that's the safe. That's the null. And now I'm trying to run out. Cool. Amazing. Yeah. Nice animatic scene. Oh, it's so bright. We've been in the dark for so long. Oh, it's eating the house. It's a part of the null now. You should run further and faster. Oh, achievement unlocked, Wonders of Science, achievement unlocked, Master of the Room. I finished. So yeah, I knew the game was going to end soon because I got a new lens. Because I didn't get a new lens until I got to the second game. Because my other one broke. On my face, by the way. So I thought I'd be blind. Yeah. Game complete. Congratulations. You have completed the room 2. Where many have faltered, you have succeeded in discovering the many mysteries held within this most unique space. You fled the laboratory and escaped the confounded house where it all began. After much scientific study, I can only conclude, that it is an absolute impossibility that the null sample under my custody is the only one in existence. It stands to reason that there must be a great number of somehow coordinated samples which exert some form of control over these curious events. Professor de Montfaucon, 19th of November, 1903. Aha. So we were following one sample. And then when we get to, or maybe we were following the multiple. Because, like, what I was stringing together was that we were following one sample through its many places that it had been. But apparently not. Okay, thank you for playing and purchasing the room 2. We hope you enjoyed it. As a small independent games developer, we truly believe in the power of word of mouth and goodwill from everyone who plays our game. I will definitely recommend this game because I love this game. I love all of the games. I've loved them since I was a kid. Now they freak the crap out of me, but I do love them. It's very escape room. Fills me with a lot of joy. It's been 2 minutes and 22 minutes. It's been 2 hours. It's been 2 minutes, y'all. It's been 2 hours and 23, almost 24 minutes in like 6 seconds. So, and I finished the game right on. Well, I usually stop at 2 hours, but I did work on my book for an hour. We will move on to the third game on Friday. Thank you everybody for coming to watch me play and fumble around and be scared and also be dumb. Alejandro, we can continue talking after stream if you want. So, that's okay. I'll probably be reading. We'll just sit in silence. But to everyone else who's here, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good night. Get some sleep if you sleep at all. and at least get some modicum of rest, hopefully. Good night, everybody!